Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about rationing and limits. Now, rationing was in World War II, and they rationed almost everything. Some things they didn't ration at all, but the first thing that was rationed was sugar, and that was first on the list. And then came coffee and oils and eggs. These things were rationed because the products were sent to the troops so they could support the war. They also had a committee, I would say, in the government that would come around to your house and help you with a victory garden. They would help you plan the victory garden. They would also, at times, provide the seeds if you needed them. And it was all, free of charge, so to speak, provided by the government. Most people had victory gardens in their backyards, in their side yards, because that's how they supplemented their diets because of rationing. So they would have large gardens, and they would produce, and they would can or jar, whatever you want to call it. They would can as much as they could for their family to have it during the winter. So they would can as much as they could can during growing season, and then in the winter when there was not a garden, they had food on the shelf, and they had put that back in their prepper pantry, as we call it today, in their stockpile. So will we ever get to the point where our food is rationed? I don't know. I hope not. It would not be a good situation to go to the store and see that there's ground beef and I can only have 1 pound per family for a week, or 1 pound per family or per person for a week, and I would have to present a ration coupon to actually get that. Now that's if they have that product. At times, that they may not have the product. Let's say you want eggs. Let's just take an example. Let's say you want eggs and we're on rationing, and you go to the grocery store and you have your egg coupon and you get 2 eggs because you have 2 people in your family for the whole week. But let's say you get to the grocery store and there are no eggs. What happens? Well, you don't get eggs for that week. So how are you going to supplement that? Another thing that was rationed was real butter. Now, they came out with margarine during that time, and margarine actually was a white block, had no color. And they had a little packet that they told you to put with this margarine to turn it yellow to make it look like butter. I thought that was very interesting. There was plenty of margarine, but butter was rationed. So you learned how to cook with your rations, whatever you had. That's why during the rationing period, people came up with all types of recipes because they were very creative with what they had. This equates to today's world and today's life with the grocery stores and the shortages. Not rationing, but the shortages, and you could have limits. The fertilizer not being there to grow enough crops. And so when you go to the store and you normally buy pasta and there is not a box of pasta on the shelf, then you can go home if you have an egg and some flour and a little bit of salt, and you can make pasta. Now, is it time consuming? It's very time consuming. It's wonderful when you make your own pasta, not with a pasta maker. You mix it, roll it out very thin, you dry it on very clean sheets, maybe somewhere where it's hot, and then at the end of the day when it's completely dry, you go ahead and roll it up, slice it, and you have egg noodles, you have just regular pasta, whatever you want. Does it store for a long time? No, not at all. Not unless you have a dehydrator, but we're talking about, let's say you don't have any of that. So people used to make products like egg noodles for that day. You make egg noodles in the morning, you let them dry, you slice them and roll them at the end of the day, and for supper, you would have, say, chicken noodle soup with egg noodles. Everything was done from the raw product. You got your chicken broth from the chicken, you got your chicken obviously from the chicken. You didn't just dump things out of a box, out of a carton, out of a can. You made everything. Everything was so-called fresh. So, rationing. Think about rationing. I'm going to be talking about different products that were rationed during World War II in upcoming videos. Each product is going to be a separate video. So you'll be able to look at flour, sugar, coffee, whatever it might be, and think about what's going on right now in the stores, the limits, the availability of stock of products in the stores. I am so glad you stopped by today. I just wanted to go over rationing. Again, this is going to be a start of a series I'm going to do about the World War II rationing and other things that were rationed at that time. If you found this information helpful, share with your family and friends, because we may need to know how to make egg noodles one day from one egg, some flour, a little bit of milk or water, and how to make dinner from raw ingredients. If you have a minute, go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And in the comments below, let me know if you have ever heard of different products being rationed today or in World War II, but especially today. Do you have rationing, or limits is the word for today's world, limits in your stores right now on different products? I am so glad you stopped by, and I hope to see you soon.